Welcome to News Hour on Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. I am Maria Tudugo. Good afternoon. Coming up, EU launches €1 million grant for the Carine district. Road Maintenance Administration starts road construction to link 3 chiefdoms in Pujan district. And Lapo hosts Customer Satisfaction Week. More news and details lined up in this edition of News Hour, but first our coronavirus preventive message. Mask up and stay safe. The Ministry of Local Government and the European Union have launched a €1 million grant for the Carine District Council. The grant is intended to support rural development in one of Sierra Leone's recent and poorest districts. Emmanuel Samora was in Carine District for the SLBC.
Carine District was among the 2 new districts formed as a result of the 2016 boundary delimitation exercise. It is also one of the many districts that are grossly underdeveloped. This ranges from poor road network to lack of electricity supply, hospitals, markets, and others. The EU fund is especially intended to address some of these challenges by supporting the district council deliver more on its mandate. The project chief administrator of Carine District Council, Bawuru Sila, said the grants would address 7 key areas like strengthening of the council's institutional structure, promotion of food security through training for farmers, construction of a modern market, and support local revenue mobilization, among others. The district's proximity to Guinea makes residents to be particularly happy because they believe that trade will thrive if their district is developed.
And when the market expands, we will help for international business people that already help for that.
We are happy for the news of the construction of a modernized market because over the years we've not been realizing more yields from our produce, even though we border with neighboring Guinea, because we do not have a large market. With the construction of the market, it will enable us to realize more yields and associate with foreign business people.
This was said to be the first grant the EU has provided to Carine since the birth of the district in almost 5 years ago. District Council Chairman John Dito Kamara said they would implement the project to the letter.
As the chairperson and the members of the district, I want to assure all of you that this project will be implemented to the letter.
The Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Tambalamina, said this was a manifestation of President Bio's promise to take development to the local people.
So appealing to the community to own the project and make it their own. They have a role to monitor and protect these facilities that are going to be provided for them. But we wish them well. It's the beginning. We believe there are more things to come. And just as I said in there, if anyone is to ask me, over there, 2.5 years ago when I came to Carine, I was up. But today, my spirit is lifted, and that is exactly what the President, the Excellency retired President, his father, is asking of all ministers.
The need to have local people plan their affairs and given the power to decide how to develop their communities motivated the EU to shift attention to local councils, according to the head of EU cooperation, Gerald Atla.
We have our own experience in Europe of decentralization, and we consider that the lowest level is always the near to the population, and is always the level which can serve the population. So that's why we are fostering also the decentralization policy in Sierra Leone, all over the country now, and just to help them to develop their own local development strategy.
Ambassador Atla added that the EU would think of further financial support when this project is implemented well. Emmanuel Samoa, reporting from Kayene District.
Honorable Justice Nyawo Finda Matiri Jones, Chairman, Mr. Lahai Fama and Mr. Ivan Sise, members of the Laratero Pias Tribunal, have taken the oath of office before President Julius Maada Bio at State House. The tribunal was appointed by President Julius Maada Bio to investigate the Auditor General, Mrs. Laratero Pias, and the Deputy Auditor General, Tamba Momo, for alleged misconduct and lack of professional performance in their activities as Auditor General and Deputy Auditor General, respectively.
Swear that I will faithfully and truly
discharge the duties as chairman of the Judicial Tribunal.
discharge the duties as chairman of the Judicial Tribunal.
That I will support and uphold the Constitution of Sierra Leone.
I will uphold and support the Constitution of Sierra Leone
As by law established.
as by law established.
That I will do right to all manner of people.
And that I will do right to all manner of people.
After the laws and usages of Sierra Leone.
After the laws and usages of Sierra Leone.
Without fear or favor.
Without fear or favor.
Affection or ill will.
Affection or ill will.
So help me God.
So help me God.
The chairman and the two members have now taken oath of office before President Julius Maada Bio at State House to commence investigations of the Auditor General Laratero Pias and the Deputy Tamba Momo. Chairman of the tribunal, on behalf of our team, commended President Julius Maada Bio for the appointment and the confidence reposed in them as well. Honorable Justice Nyawo Finda Matiri Jones told President Julius Maada Bio that they are well prepared, ready and willing to perform the task, as the task actually engages a section of the Constitution which belongs to them as judges. This is an arena that they are very much accustomed to, and between three of them and their several years of experience, they will be able to tackle whatever arises, and they are familiar with the area of law that is engaged. This, she said, as far as democracy, is very good news in an employer-employee situation for the employee to be given an opportunity to be able to explain him or herself better.
Your Excellency, I must personally express my gratitude and appreciation for your willingness to allow this process to take place for obvious reasons, so that democracy can really have a chance. We have heard of several unfair dismissal stories around the world. In fact, even for the judges whose protection this was initially intended for. I, in my experience on the bench, have seen that protection being ignored so many times, and nobody has said anything about it. It's been quiet. And that is why I am really baffled sometimes when I hear all the anxiety on this occasion, when in fact this opportunity is being given to employees or fellow citizens to clear their name and get a fair chance.
President Julius Maada Bio appreciated them for taking up this new challenge, as they have been meticulously chosen for this purpose, and hope that they will be able to do their best.
I want to thank you for accepting to take on this new challenge, and you have been meticulously chosen for this purpose, and we hope that you will do your best in investigating the conduct of the two people that have been referred to you. We have tried as a government to follow the Constitution as much as we can, and I think that we are in compliance, and it is now at liberty to investigate the conduct of the group and get back to us. I wish you the best and look forward to the report. Thank you.
The chairman will now communicate the date for the commencement of the tribunal to the general public at any time from now. SBC TV News I in Freetown, Hawa Mosiri reporting.
The special representative of the Chinese President Yang Jiechi has met with President Julius Maada Bio and some ministers at State House. The visit by the special representative and team is to deliberate on issues of multilateral cooperation, development and strengthening of the bilateral relationship between the two countries who have just celebrated 50 years of friendship. Hawa Mosiri now reports.
China and Sierra Leone have been enjoying bilateral relations for decades, and China has supported Sierra Leone in diverse ways, especially in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Updating the president about the purpose of their visit, the special representative from China, Yang Jiechi, first commended him for his strong leadership and development strides.
Sierra Leone 今年有望恢复经济正增长，中方表示敬佩和赞赏。
Your Excellency has been leading the government and people of Sierra Leone in carrying out the new direction strategy and actively responding to the COVID-19 challenge. As Sierra Leone is expected to restore positive economic growth this year, China admires and commends the efforts and progress that Sierra Leone has made. Over the long years, the people of our two countries, China and Sierra Leone, have supported each other on issues concerning our respective core interests and major concerns, and have worked closely together in national development endeavors. The people of our two countries fought hand in hand against the devastating Ebola epidemic and now are working together to fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. And through these efforts, we have forged an even stronger friendship of supporting each other and sharing real and world.
Mr. Jiechi underscored President Bio's leadership in carrying out government strategy in restoring positive economic growth this year and for actively responding to the COVID-19 challenges as is expected, adding that under the leadership of President Xi Jinping, China has enjoyed phenomenal growth leading to it becoming a world superpower.
加拿大人民在今后的日子里将不断地取得建设国家新的更大的成就。
Your Excellency, as our two countries celebrate the 50th anniversary of the establishment of China-Sierra Leone diplomatic relations, I offer our sincere wish and our belief that under Your Excellency's leadership, the people of Sierra Leone will achieve new and even greater success in national development efforts. China is ready to further enhance and promote the high level of political mutual trust between our two countries. China will continue to work for solid progress in our practical cooperation. We will make every effort to ensure that there will be new success in our cooperation projects.
我们将继续全力支持塞港抗疫。
We will continue to give Sierra Leone our full support in your anti-COVID-19 efforts.
President Bio disclosed that this year marks the 50th diplomatic relationship between the People's Republic of China and Sierra Leone, and it is a long relationship with fond memories. He said the good relationship was beneficial for the two countries and stressing the need to deepen the relationship to escalate it to another level.
You have made significant contribution to the promotion of world peace, development and international justice, setting a very shining example for us as developing countries in Africa. We wish you success on the way forward, and we hope that we can also learn from the great things that you have done. I also want to congratulate you on the success of its ministerial conference on the Forum on Africa Cooperation held in Dakar very recently. I want to thank Excellency Xi Jinping for the great speech that he gave and the 4 proposals for building a China-Africa community with a shared vision of future in the new era, and the 9 programs to implement the China-Africa Cooperation Vision 2035.
Yang Jingqi had served as China's Minister of Foreign Affairs for several years and is a member of the Communist Political Bureau. The past 50 years had witnessed the deepening of mutual political trust between the 2 countries, and 50 years ago, the visionary leaders of the 2 countries made the historical decision to establish diplomatic relations. SBC TV News Eye in Freetown, Mosiro reporting.
In a bid to support gender empowerment and to fight against violence or sexual violence on women and girls, the Community of Practice, in collaboration with International Rescue Committee, has organized a 2-day workshop at the Country Lodge in Freetown.
The Community of Practice is a coalition of organizations working on violence against women and girls. The COP is formed from 33 different organizations, including Her Future Foundation, Girls Advocacy Network, Rainbow Initiative, Inspiration Lifeline, Smart Women Initiative, and more. The workshop was held as a result to develop an advocacy strategy for the COP in the next 2 years that will help in the empowerment of women and girls. In their bid to that, Janet Gaba from IRC mentioned some of these strategies that they will come up with as an organization.
We will look at a budget for any activities that we want to do that will require some sort of monetary input. And we hope that at the end of it we will have some way of measuring whether we have been successful in what we are doing or what we have done. So in short, we should have a complete advocacy strategy document and a way of a communications document as well, and our implementation plan and budget.
In an official opening of the workshop session, the IRC country director said they as an organization have been helping COP in the implementation of policies for the empowerment of women and girls. He also gave a reason for setting up COP, which serves as a platform to discuss challenges pertaining to women and girls.
The IRC supported the Community of Practice to develop an advocacy and communication strategy and action plan for 2 years, 2020 to 2020. It is therefore time for the Community of Practice and Advocacy Group to put in place the advocacy strategy for the next 2 years.
Meanwhile, the chairperson of COP in Freetown mentioned one of the dimensions on the enactment of gender empowerment be put into law, which is one of the key objectives of the COP.
There are different dimensions. You can think about the advocacy now we're doing to enact this bill into an act, but then when it becomes an act, what next? There is an aspect of implementation. And so we also need the kind of resources that will enable the government to succeed in this drive.
Representatives from different organizations of the COP were taken into a long session to discuss, contribute, and suggest plans and strategies that will be of benefit to women and girls in the country and the organization as a whole. For SLBC News, Fatima Kamara reporting.
The Lifts Above Poverty Organization, or LAPO, is a microfinance entity with a Nigerian origin, dedicated to self-employment through microfinancing. The organization acts as a microcredit institution and assists its clients in overcoming problems beyond the lack of business capital. It also engages in other activities. One of them is the Customer Satisfaction Week, which is a way of recognizing their clients or customers by giving out gifts to them. This year's Customer Satisfaction Week has seen dozens of customers from across the country gathered at LAPO's office in Freetown to receive various gifts. Joy Ishagwe is Head Client Relations and Marketing at LAPO. She is here to tell us more about the events. Thanks for joining us and welcome.
Yeah.
So first of all, tell us, what does Client Satisfaction Week stand for?
Well, Client Satisfaction Week is the week that helps LAPO, or a medium through which LAPO wishes to express their gratitude to their clients who has been doing business with them.
So what are some of the impacts that your organization have had generally?
Well, my organization have lots of impacts on the people of Sierra Leone, on the business persons, because basically we empower businesses, we empower business persons to boost their business from a level where we make them to a higher level.
So on what basis do you give out these loans? What criteria does these businesses have to have in order for you to give out loans to them?
Well, it depends. As long as you are doing business, then you are good to go.
Does it have to be an established business or a startup or something that...
as long as you have an existing business, an ongoing business, you are not a starter. You are not the one looking for money to start.
Okay.
You have an existing business. We have a loan product for you. Even if you are a petty trader who hawks on the street, we have a product for you, a loan product for you.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a registered business?
Yeah, though we also have product for the registered business.
Okay.
So all categories of business, we have loan product for them.
So what are some of the collaterals, the interest rate and all of that?
Well, our interest rate is 2.5%. And for the issue of collateral, not all our loans require collaterals.
Okay.
Not all our loan amounts require collateral.
So can you break it down so people would understand? Because someone would be watching and would be saying, okay, I would love to have a loan to boost my business and all of that. So what's kind of, say for example, a hawker in the street, what are the things that she should or he should go about?
All right, like for a hawker in the streets, the category of loan product for you is that you have to join a group. That's what we call group loan.
Okay.
Group loan is categorized into 3 aspects in LAPO. The aspect of the petty traders, those that hawk on the streets, those that do just minor business, that is the petty traders. They fit into the regular group. And a group of a minimum of 5 members, they come together because they have similar businesses. They come together in agreement, and we give them loan amount, which is in stages. In other words, you start from stage 1, go to stage 2, go to stage 3. The first amount, stage 1, is 1.5 million for the group. Each
or each person 1.5.
Yeah, each member of the group 1.5, but you must be a part of a group.
Of a similar business.
It may not be similar business, but the same or similar category of business. Maybe you're hawking, maybe a petty traders per se. Then the other category is those that are not petty per se, but they don't have shop also. Maybe they do their business, they share their business in tables. You see, some people have large table businesses in the marketplaces, some in an open place in the street here and there. Those ones, you don't have shop, but you see your business is big. And then you also have to form a group of 5 members who have similar big, large business like on your type. And then you also take loan, but it's higher than the first. The one you have to start, with about 5 million, 5 million, like that, going upwards. That is for that. You don't start with 1.5 like those petty. So there is a difference, you see. So those ones have to start from 5 million because of the largeness of their business. So then there's the other category of the group loan. Then we'll have the XBL, which is small business loan. Those ones you must have a shop. Okay. You must have a registered business, a registered shop. Yeah, you pay your city council, NRA, all those stuff settled. Then you are good to go. And that one you can take from 5 million to 100 million.
No, 5 million to 100 million. You have to have a registered, you have to be having taxes paid and all of that.
Yeah, all the stuff paid, issue of government, whatever you are expected to do, like the city council, you ought to then register your business, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you give out these loans, how long do they have to pay?
They have the option to choose, but it's within a year, minimum of 12 months. You don't go beyond 12 months.
For every
category, yeah.
Okay, so what's let's talk about the inspiration behind why, because it's a Nigerian based. So what's the inspiration to bring it to Sierra Leone?
Well, it's a Nigerian base indeed, but we know that the people of Sierra Leone actually need it, because we discover here in Sierra Leone there are so many businesses in Sierra Leone. So many, majority of people are doing businesses, no matter how small they sell. So we discovered that many of them actually need empowerment. They need financial empowerment to boost their business. Many of them would like to take this business, the business they have, to a higher level. And so they need an organization like LAPO to support them financially. Because since somebody who would just want to lend or dash you money to say, hey, this is very difficult these days. And so that is very fitting. That is the reason why we came to Sierra Leone, and we have succeeded in improving many lives here.
So do you by any chance have the plan to maybe give startups money instead of people who are just maybe somehow established?
Maybe future, but for now.
Okay, so how far with the gift? What sort of gift do you give out, and to what clients? Maybe is it everybody or a set of customers that you have?
Yeah, we have different categories of gifts, and we have the gift for all customers, really. We have customized pin-ups, like what I'm using now. For all customers, we have hand fans, we have pens. All these are customized, LAPO customized. So those ones are for everybody. We have chocolate, sweets, nice. Yeah, biscuits, wafers for all customers. So everybody. Even if you are on the old, you are entitled. Yeah.
So before we leave, what would you want to leave with the people?
We just want to say, LAPO love all of you here in Sierra Leone, the people of Sierra Leone, and to all our customers out there, we love you, and LAPO is always here for you, to serve you, and LAPO have your good interest at heart. And to those that are just hearing about LAPO for the first time, we want to tell you that there's an institution like LAPO here who is ready to help you take your business to the level that you want it. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
She is Joy Ishiago, Head Client Relations and Marketing at LAPO. With a view to decongest the roads of Freetown in order to enhance the free flow of traffic and promote road safety in the country, the Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority, SLRSA, and stakeholders have embarked on a joint operation to decongest streets in Freetown. Jonathan Turner reports.
Many streets in the capital have been converted to garages, marketplaces, or parking spaces for abandoned vehicles, and these have seriously affected the free flow of traffic within the city. In that light, the SLRSA has embarked on an operation to create free traffic flow by removing many abandoned vehicles in the eastern part of Freetown. The Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority Acting Executive Director James Bagibio encouraged all stakeholders to support the operation in order to enhance the free flow of traffic and prevent road carnage.
So, but this time around, we have appealed with the leadership at SLRA. Very soon, at the start of this year, at the beginning of next year, you will see road signages, you will see road marking. Right? The road safety issue, the management of traffic issue is going to be a different turnaround this time around. And also, when it comes to interference into our operation, I want to assure you that the President is really serious about this operation, because it has come out in serious meetings. They have been held at State House at security meeting.
All the stakeholders present in the operation lauded the SLRSA for such move and pledged to support the initiative in decongesting Freetown, as the issue of using the streets as garages, parking spaces for abandoned vehicles, street trading causes traffic and danger.
To enhance safety, those pedestrians, those using vehicles, those who are living within the community, to enhance that safety. Can you imagine somebody is pregnant, you want to take her to the hospital, and you be stopped by an abandoned people? That's not good. So we want to save lives. We want to ensure the road is clean, the road is clear for people to use. So the essence of this is to promote safety. And SRSA has the constitutional mandate to promote safety.
Alhaji Bangua is one of those who fell in the ambit of the law, as 3 of his vehicles parked on the street, we are told.
3 of my vehicles were towed away when I heard the news about the operation. I tried to remove them, but I was late.
The move to decongest comes following the recommendation by the Oversight Committee for Transport in Parliament after the November 5 fire disaster at Wellington. The operation will continue until the 18th of December 2021. Jingles and public engagements are ongoing in order to sensitize the public about the operation. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
The Road Maintenance Administration Fund and its partners have launched the construction of the feeder road that runs through Paka and Aganisperry chiefdoms in Pujon district. The road construction is expected to last for 3 months and will ease travel to and from Pujon district. Julian Korma compiled this report.
This is the feeder road that connects Paka, Perry and Galines chiefdoms in Pujon district. The people of all 3 chiefdoms mostly engage in hunting and weekly sales of food at the market. But the travel to the weekly market is always hampered by this horrible road. It's sometimes flooded when it rains because of numerous potholes on the road.
I mean, I ride this road at least once every month, and it is a nightmare, and it's worse when it's raining. And to make it worse, about sometime earlier this year, I believe in April, we actually reopened Luma down river, not too far from Leah, in Baka Chiefdom. And that Luma has revitalized the community, but it is so challenging because of the road.
When it rains, people entering Paka chiefdom have to either be carried across what should be a drainage or cancel their travel altogether. But after several consultations, the Road Maintenance Administration Fund is set to commence work on the roads that connect the 3 chiefdoms.
And today we're here because the council approached us, the Pujon District Council, to the chairman, that there's a felt need of this community to this road. As you've heard from the community people, it's been impossible for a long time, and they're suffering a lot, whether through agriculture and community, linking communities. So basically we approved it at the Road Maintenance Fund Administration to follow within our mandate to fund this kind of risk.
The chairman for Pujon District Council, on behalf of his people, expressed great delight for the project.
Today they are very, very happy, they are excited, they are delighted, and I can see the sigh of relief on their faces that actually a problem is about, a major problem that is linked to their livelihoods is about to stop.
SLBC News are Julian Kuruma.
As the fight to end violence against women and girls intensifies globally, during the 16 days of activism, the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs with development partners have launched the Sexual Gender-Based Violence Response Strategy. The response strategy will grant access to medical, justice and psychosocial support to victims of sexual gender-based violence across the country as a way to improve their lives. Amina Okana reports.
16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which started in November 25th and will end on the 10th December, is not just about the scourge to outline challenges women globally are facing, but also empowering them by way of providing an enabling environment for them. Deputy Minister of Gender and Children's Affairs, Buakai Bindi Hindulo, noted that the celebration of the 16 Days Activism campaign is to urge duty bearers on their responsibility to end sexual gender-based violence. He said President Bio considered women and girls issues as a priority. Hence, strides are visible through the Gender Ministry in many ongoing project implementation to protect women and girls' rights. He continued that majority of SGBV perpetrators are youth. Therefore, their collaboration to the fight must be incorporated. And on the launch of the response strategy, the minister had this to say.
This strategy was officially launched by His Excellency the President during the International Women's Day celebration in Gambia. You may recall that the majority of perpetrators were men and boys, and therefore it is critical to be on board men and boys in the campaign to end violence against women and girls.
Development partners spotlighted that according to statistics, women constitute over half of the country's population, yet a high number of them face sexual gender-based violence on a regular basis. They continued that with access to medical, justice and psychosocial services, victims of sexual gender-based violence can now live a respectable life within their communities.
I would like to note that in addition to improving the services that those who survive sexual and gender-based violence are able to draw on, it is also critically important that we take action to prevent and reduce such violence from happening to start with.
Representatives from various civil society organizations applauded the response strategy and pledged their continuous commitment to the fight. SLBC News, Aminata Fofana.
In rebranding the minds of nurses and midwives in the country, the National Nursing and Midwifery Association have held their annual retreats. The retreat was also aimed at creating the space for citizens to have a maximum trust and confidence with and among nurses and midwives in the health sector. Jonathan Turner witnessed the retreat at Bure Beach in the western rural area and now reports.
Nurses and midwives play a critical role in health promotion, disease prevention, and delivery of primary and community care in the country. The rebranding nursing and midwifery leadership retreat in the western rural area gathered nurses and midwives that are rendering selfless services to humanity. The retreat was geared towards developing a systematic approach to determine the strengths and challenges of the nursing and midwifery systems in the country.
The Ministry of Health and Sanitation and all our partners to ensure that nursing by 2030 will be rebranded and we'll have worked on our attitude. This is one of the things they want to rebrand, the attitude of us, the nurses. Because with nursing, a single smile will remove the pain. 10% of the pain from a patient will be removed by just a single smile from a nurse.
The size of the competent health workforce, including nurses and midwives, required to provide universal health coverage for the basic package of care is inadequate in Sierra Leone. For instance, fewer than 1,000 midwives are presently practicing when approximately 3,000 midwives are needed to meet the needs of the population.
Those of you at district level, please continue to work and continue team building. Team building brings results. And let me say thank you for many who have contributed professionally. I have been in, I hope the people have learned from. They have made me a better person. I will tell you that. So,
improving the global health requires ensuring an educated, competent and motivated workforce within an effective and responsive health system. At all levels, optimizing policy development, effective leadership management and governance will help delivery on health services in the country. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
Since Since the organization was founded in 1986, Marie-Stopes Sierra Leone has been working remarkably in providing family planning, HIV and sexually transmitted infection testing and maternal services across Sierra Leone. As a way to assess their work so far, Marie-Stopes Sierra Leone has held their annual general meeting in Freetown. Janatore has more.
Against what we had to focus, 196,000, you will realize that we are above our current performance year to date, January to October.
In a drive to evaluate their successes alongside challenges and set up plans and strategies to address issues relating to family planning, sexually transmitted infections, maternal health, and other reproductive health issues, the organization has held its annual general meeting at the Atlantic Lumley Hotel in Freetown. Talking about some of the achievements attained by the organization in their thrive to succeed in their mission, the Service Marketing and Communications Manager, Emmanuel Jar, said they were working as a team to address problems around sexually transmitted infections, maternal mortality, and other indicators.
With our strategies to tackle all of those challenges, we are increasing on the responses of the general populace towards receiving services around family planning and sexual reproductive health and other services Marie-Stopes Sierra Leone is offering across the country.
During the meeting, the country director of Marie-Stopes Sierra Leone, Daoud Iqbal, graded the response of Sierra Leoneans to family planning to 30%.
I'm currently working in the district, 9 districts all over Sierra Leone, and then we have mobile outreach that's also go around in the different districts, and it's working in the 14 districts all over Sierra Leone that provide in a very remote area, working for tourists of the poor area and providing family planning and what we have achieved in 2021. On the same target, we are around 40%. We are setting the target above what we are doing in 2021.
Even though the organization celebrates the 30% response by Sierra Leoneans to family planning, they still face challenges due to religious barriers and availability of contraceptives, which according to the country director is because they usually get them through donations.
Currently, this challenge is not specific to the Sierra Leone. This challenge is globally. One of the contraceptive mostly is coming as a donated stock from the UNFPA and from the FCDO and other big donors. And that donated stock and coming is shrinking globally, and we are working very closely with the government, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, because that's the channel those all contraceptive come to us and also specifically to the government facilities in the public sector. And that is, I think, one of the biggest challenges globally and also in Sierra Leone.
Daoud Iqbal also confirmed that they were going to follow the same channel they used for 2021 in achieving their goal for 2022, but with additional methods to increase the percentage they achieved in 2021. SLBC News, Sulaiman Toure reporting.
Now for some stories making the news in Africa. A police officer in Kenya has shot dead his wife and 5 other people with an AK-47 in the early hours of Tuesday morning. According to a police report, a neighbor heard a loud bang from the officer's home on Tuesday. The policeman that went on what officials are calling a shooting spree in Kabite, near the capital, Nairobi, killing 5 others. The officer later took his own life, according to a police statement. The motive behind the killings is unclear, but police said the couple had been feuding. The policeman, who the authorities have identified as Police Constable Benson Imbasi, started shooting at innocent members of the public friendly after killing his own wife, who they have called Carol. 2 motorcycles, taxi drivers were among the other victims. 2 other people were injured and are receiving treatment at hospital. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and Senegalese President Macky Sall have expressed their displeasure towards rich countries over travel bans imposed on them since the country announced the discovery of a new coronavirus variant, Omicron. This was during the opening of the 7th edition of Dakar International Forum on Peace and Security in Africa on Monday. Senegalese President Macky Sall called for unity among world leaders at a time like this in order to fight the pandemic. Ramaphosa tasked rich countries to rather help in finding a solution to the global crisis but not to punish poor nations. He accused the rich countries of giving only the crumbs to poor nations in their distribution of the vaccines. At the end of November, a team of South African researchers announced that they had detected a new variant of COVID-19, Omicron. A British teenager who was badly injured when a crocodile bit her leg and tried to drag her underwater in Livingstone, Zambia, she was very lucky to have survived the attack. Emily Osborne Smith was evacuated by helicopter to Medland Hospital where she underwent surgical procedures. In her first interview following the attack, Osborne Smith said she had accepted that she might lose her foot after being taken to the hospital and was so relieved when she woke up to find that doctors had been able to save it. According to the British media, the teenager from Hampshire has been on a gap year visiting Zambia, where her grandmother owns a farm. Let's now go over to our entertainment news. Sorry for that glitch. We'll bring you entertainment news in our 9 p.m. bulletin. Now for sports updates.
And for the latest in sports in this edition of the news, with me, Frances Parnett, the forever young team of Position will host its 2nd edition of the Strongest Man intermediate weightlifting competition at the Casablanca field at Aberdeen in Freetown. The event, according to the organizers, is to raise awareness of good health practices through sport. This year's competition includes 5 participants from 5 communities around the Mauritanian community, which will battle for the star prize of 200,000 leones. Let's join Mohamed Lamin Touré for more on this.
The 2021 Forever Young Organization Strongest Man competition was the 2nd edition of a classic strength display. The contest seems to get bigger and better, but this one may become the most dramatic in recent years. This year's Strongest Man intermediate weightlifting competition will feature 5 participants from 5 communities in the western area of the capital. John Lebe representing Kokobe community, Osep Bangora, Okada Riders, Dauda Bon representing Bayo Drive, Aruna Bangora from Aberdeen Road, and Amara Kamara for Mauritanian community.
So many disadvantages people are saying about this fitness, and so many things people are talking about because of, I could, some man can say, na empty pain, you understand me? But I believe that's not a pain. There are nothing to do in the world without pain. No pain, no gain. Yes, your body can explode, but not 100%. Fitness is a security to yourself, you understand? And also, fitness can make you look good and create more vitality in you, and I hope there are many things of fitness, but these are some of the key things.
Strongman competitions are always an event where participants showcase their God-given strengths. This year's event, the participants have pledged to give their best and make the event a memorable one.
Well, I'm 100% fit in that I'm doing my work every day because I knew that I have a competition ahead. So I'm very determined, and I'm going to encourage all my team members, my fans, and and even my newly contestant also to be very, very attentive and know what they are after.
I'm very prepared for this competition because this is my second time to contest. I'm former champion 2020. So I really hope that I can get the competition.
The Strongest Man intermediate weightlifting competition is aimed at raising community awareness about display of strengths. For SLBC Sport, Mohammed to reporting.
From the Strongest Man competition, we now go to the international scene. And in the international scene, Russian Tennis Federation has defeated Croatia to capture their first Davis Cup title since 2006. Odi Rublev and Dani Medvedev, who also guided their nations to February's ATP with state-set victories. Russia's 15-year wait for a Davis Cup title ended after a clutch performance by Dani Medvedev. Medvedev beat Marin Cilic 7-6, 6-2 in the second singles match to give Russia an insurmountable 2-0 lead over Croatia in the final. It is Russia's third Davis Cup title and the first ever since 2006. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of Sports Updates on the News. Thanks for watching, and I am Francis Barnard.
Thanks to our sports desk. Now to end the news, the main point. The Ministry of Local Government and the European Union have launched a €1 million grant for the Karina District Council. The grant is intended to support rural development in one of Sierra Leone's recent and poorest districts. The Road Maintenance Administration Fund and its partners have commissioned the construction of the feeder road that runs through Paka and Galinas Periche Dumps in Pujol district. The road construction is expected to last for 3 months and will ease travel to and from Pujol district. And the Lift Above Poverty Organization, or LAPO, has observed their 2021 Customer Satisfaction Week by giving out various gifts to their customers. The Customer Satisfaction Week is LAPO's way of recognizing their clients or customers. LAPO is a microfinance entity with Nigerian origin dedicated to self-employment through microfinancing. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned to your public broadcaster, the SLGC, if you can. I have been ready to call. Good afternoon.